the UFC 300 chat. And as you can see in the description, I obviously mentioned that 10.8% of the champions are going to be in this particular card. Now, what's also interesting is that I'm getting reports as I literally press the live button right now. Literally, just the moment that I press the live button, apparently this fight with Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway has been canceled. Now, I don't know if this is real or if there's some reports to it, but if you go on Google, where you usually type up top UFC 300, they give you the card, the full card. And by the way, shout outs to Google for and the UFC's collaboration for actually giving full details of these cards because as you can see, they give you like the early prelims, what time it starts, the preliminary cards, what time it starts, and then the main card and what time it starts. And it shows you all the fights up and down in that particular card. And then when you press the particular fight in the card, they give you the height, the weight, the reach of the fighters, and the venue where it's taking place. So it's very detailed. And then when I typed in UFC 300 to do this stream, apparently it had been mentioned here right on the bottom that Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway's fight has been canceled. And so we're getting to the bottom of this right now, sort of checking out if there's any merit to this particular notion. I don't know if that's true or not, but we're gonna find out. Justin Gaethje, just to make sure and to see if this is real. Okay, so it says here canceled, but then it's not. Is this fight canceled? Canceled. Let's take a look at it and see. Concerns rising. Okay, breaking news pulls out of. Okay, so no, apparently Justin Gaethje's fight is canceled. This was 1 week ago. Okay, so we're going to go off the notion that it's not because it's still on the card. Okay, so usually when they say that a fight is canceled, can you please talk more about LGBT issues, please? What a dumb comment. I mean, I don't know what you do with your life to think that you can come on a live stream and say that this is an issue that we have to talk about. Why don't you tell me why you think this is an issue that we have to talk about? You know, and if you say anything stupid or dumb, I'm going to block you and I'm going to get rid of you, and that's that. So, useless thing. I don't even know what your name is. I'm not even going to mention your screen name, bro. You know, that's just the dumbest comment that I've ever seen coming into an MMA page, and in particular, an MMA page of a Muslim content creator. Now, why would we go and talk about these subjects? It's completely irrelevant to what is going on right now. Right? I mean, you have UFC 300, the possibility of Justin Gaethje getting canceled, and then obviously it's not canceled because it's still right up here. But at the same time, there's also other reports saying that it is or it isn't. So for namesake, okay, hit the nay-nay. I hit the nay-nay. I don't understand what you mean by that. Again, another dumb comment, but it's all right. You remember, you can come in here and make all the dumb comments you want, but just remember, you're an audience, and that makes you a fan. You help me with my engagement. So thank you, and kudos to you, fan. So get out your pom-poms and cheer like you should. Yeah, touch that, whatever. You're getting blocked for that comment. So we are going to block this person, and that's that. So goodbye, Cam, whatever your name is or whatever. I shouldn't even mention your name, you useless piece of thing, whatever you are. You know what I mean? I'll bet you wouldn't even say none of that to my face if I'm going to put you on timeout for 24 hours. You're out of here, dumbass. But anyways, so is this fight canceled or not? I don't think that it's canceled, so we're going to go off the notion that it's not. So this is great. This is great that we have this situation with UFC 300 where you have 10.8% of the champions, so we'll round it off to 11%. of champions that are going to be competing in this particular card. And by the way, when I'm done with this video, guys, I want you to check out a new video that I have coming out. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson will be an exhibition, and I'm going to break down the rules and the requirements that is needed for these athletes to go into this fight. Obviously, it's an exhibition. So what does that mean? Will it mean that Jake Paul is going to go for a knockout, or are they going to go for a little friendly spar? I'm going to give you 15 minutes of fame in that particular content and give you all the full details and breakdowns into history, and even talk about, what's his name, Holyfield, when he fought Vitor Belfort, when Vitor Belfort just straight up went and knocked his head in just for the sake of it. But anyway, so going on to UFC 300, what do we have here? We have Weili Zhang, who's also a champion. Jamal Hill obviously is a champion. Alex Pereira is a champion. Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway are both champions. Interim champion or not, I think a championship belt is a championship belt regardless. Charles Oliveira is also a champion. A classic matchup of having the old guard, former champion, taking on the new rising star in Arman Tsarukyan. Now, if Arman Tsarukyan gets through that fight, hello, we have a Ukrainian flag down there. Shout out to Ukraine for everybody that is tapping in. I believe this is the same fella that came in here from the Ian Gary and the Colby Covington live stream that I did. Shout out to you. I know usually I do these lives while I'm driving, but today, obviously, I'm in the comfort of my home, in my office at my house. So I'm doing this live stream for you guys to discuss UFC 300. And Arman Tsarukyan, and then my man here has the flag emoji of Ukraine and America. Yes, shout outs to Ukraine and the United States of America. By the way, are you excited for the Usyk-Alexander fight with Tyson Fury? Let me know how you feel about that. I'm sure everybody in that country is excited for that fight, considering that Alexander Usyk is a big hero to that country as much as Tyson Fury is a hero to the rest of the world, and if not, England as well. Arman Tsarukyan is also probably a part of that region. I know he's Armenian, but many Armenians have ties in Ukraine. I've trained with a few Ukrainian guys in Muay Thai out here in Sacramento. And I remember this one guy that I knew, his name's Sam. I trained Muay Thai with him back in like 2009, 2010. He was Armenian, but he also had roots in Ukraine. So I know there's a little bit of a crossover between those regions. So that would be a great win for Arman Tsarukyan to get through Charles Oliveira. And after getting through Charles Oliveira, perhaps he can challenge Islam Makhachev once again for the 155 Undisputed Championship of the world. Now, as you know, Arman Tsarukyan came into the UFC with a very hard fight. And who was that against? None other than Islam Makhachev. Can you imagine your first fight in the UFC is against Islam Makhachev, and then Islam Makhachev goes on to become world champion, and then here comes Arman Tsarukyan rising up through the ranks. Now, how about this? Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel, I think, is the most interesting character in this particular card, and I'm going to tell you why. Obviously, Bo Nickel is a rising star, and a lot of people are complaining that he is opening the pay-per-view of this card rather than, let's say, being put into prelims. So that means if you want to watch Bo Nickel fight, you're not going to see him on free TV or anything like that, or depending on how your country deals with their TV deals and networks and whatnot. Do the thug shake. What exactly is the thug shake? Again, you know, if you're going to make some stupid comments, and if you're going to, you know, go and, you know what, write as much as you want. You know what, because you know what you're doing? All you're doing is increasing my engagement. So thank you, me Bop, whatever your name is. It's always the guys with no profiles in their names that always got to do the most, right? So thank you for your contribution. You're a fan. Take out your pom-poms and do what you do best, fan, and cheer on for me, okay? But anyways, Bo Nickel, a lot of guys who are former champions are fighting under him. Names such as Yuri Prochazka, who, by the way, is going to end the preliminary cards just right before the pay-per-view. He's going to take on Alexander Rakic. That's going to be a great fight. Aljamain Sterling, former world champion, moving up to. People are complaining about the opponent. If he fought a ranked guy, no one would complain that he's on the main card. That's true. That's very true. You know what I think they're doing with Bo Nickel right now? And I don't want to get off the topic with Aljamain Sterling. I'm going to give him his flowers and talk about him. But to answer your question, I think that with Bo Nickel, he's the UFC is trying to stop him from fighting the top fighters, right? They want to save him for the names like Khamzat, for the names like Sean Strickland, for the names like Dricus du Plessis, for the names like hi brother 13th Assassin. Shout outs to 13th Assassin. Let me know where you guys are tapping in from. But with Bo Nickel, he's being saved by the UFC. They want to wait and build him up, sort of like a boxing type of scenario. Whereas back in the days, or usually at least even in the modern times of the UFC, what they like to do is really set you up with hard fights straight away, right? Whereas with Bo Nickel, I think they're sort of trying to give him some small steps before he goes and fights the bigger names. So yes, I think it is a big complaint that he is in this main card and he's fighting somebody like Cody Brundage. Whereas where I was going to with Aljamain Sterling, he's fighting somebody like Calvin Kattar, right? A top featherweight contender. And by the way, moving up in the featherweight division from being a former world champion. So there you go. Another world champion that is fighting under Bo Nickel. Jerry Prochazka, former champion, fighting under Bo Nickel. And how about this? Two former world champions. By the way, Kayla Harrison making her UFC debut. And the only difference is that Kayla Harrison is, what do you call it, undefeated. So I agree with you. He's still young, but the UFC is doing the right thing. But they could have given him a respectable opponent even outside the rankings. I agree with you. I think also we have to understand that scheduling in the UFC is very difficult, right? Obviously, you've seen the UFC 299 card. Boy, that was stacked. That was a very stacked card. So that means a lot of those fighters are not going to be available for a certain amount of time. So as a result, it's very difficult to make this card. And again, here's another thing a lot of people are complaining about. Did you guys see the logo for UFC 300? Very plain looking. Almost looks like a green Saudi flag. The only difference is that it has the UFC letters with the UFC 300 on the bottom, and the font of it looks very amateurish, right? It looks like a third grader wrote the font or something like that. So a lot of people are sort of angry about that. But here's something that I want to say in particular to that, right? Look, UFC 300, it is a big deal because it's another one of those situations where they have, let's say, a 300, a 100, one of these centennial cards that they have going on. So they have to make it a big deal. But in reality, it's just another card, right? In comparison to, let's say, the other cards. Do the Thug Shake. Well, first of all, if you want me to do the Thug Shake, explain to me exactly what that is, moron, because I don't exactly know what a Thug Shake is or this and that, and I don't know what you're trying to imply with that comment. But yeah, hey, I'm tapping in from the UAE. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Salam alaikum, rahmatullah, barakatuh to you, brother. Hold on. Let me, hold on a second. What did he say here? Oh, okay. He says, I'm, tapping in from Dubai. Hope you're well. One quick question, if you don't mind, so you may continue. Are you Muslim? Yes, I am Muslim. And then let me see what else you are right here. Are you Muslim? If you don't mind, are you Muslim? I'm asking since you have a Muslim style beard. I am Muslim. I'm Muslim. I'm proud and I'm Sunni. So shout out to you in the UAE. Very beautiful country. How about this? Steven Swervin tapping in from Australia. My man, I love Australia. Australia got some of the a lot of Samoans. They have a lot of Arabs. And by the way, out here in California, I roll with a lot of Samoans and a lot of dudes that, roll on that side of the fence, if you know what I mean. So, you know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of Samoans out here, a lot of great Arabs out there. Australia's a beautiful country. Thank you for tapping in, and thank you for the guy from Dubai that's tapping in. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe as we continue on talking about UFC 300. So, This is great. I'm growing a different set of audience here from different parts of the world. Alhamdulillah. May Allah keep you on a straight path. I am also Muslim. Alhamdulillah, Sunni as well. That's what's up, 13th Assassin. Let me know what your name, 13th Assassin, means. What is the significance of that name and whatnot? So, moving on to the card, we have Holly Holmes, obviously a former champion, another former champion that is fighting under Bo Nickel, which is the cause of a lot of these controversies. Fighting Kayla Harrison, who is also a world champion in her right, but in a different organization. Sadiq Youssef taking on Diego Lopez. That's a good fight. That's going to open up the first fight of the preliminary cards. Now, moving on to the early preliminary cards. This is a great fight. Renato Moicano taking on Jalen Turner. Obviously, no former world champions in that. But underneath it, you have Jessica Andrade taking on Mariana Rodriguez, which is a pretty cool fight. Obviously, another former world champion that is fighting under Bo Nickel. And then how about this? Bobby Green, always ready to go out there and fight, always ready for a scrap, and a very exciting fighter in his own right, taking on Jim Miller, who, by the way, has now fought in UFC 100, UFC 200, and now UFC 300. So that's going to be a great marquee accomplishment for Jim Miller on that end. Davison Figueroa taking on Cody Garbrandt. How about this? Two former world champions that are opening the entire card in and of itself, which, by the way, sort of goes into the ethos of what Dana White was talking about when he said, when he wants to start this card, he said that he wants you to watch it from the very beginning to the top. By the way, guys, full disclosure, I train out here in Sacramento. I've trained with Cody Garbrandt before, with Chad Mendez, with Uriah Faber, all these guys in Team Alpha Male. So I'm definitely going to be excited to see that fight and see Cody do the damn thing. Cody has trained with a lot of the top guys out here in Sacramento. He's a former world champion, obviously. People believe that 13 is an unlucky number. As Muslims, we believe in Qadr, and may Allah has written for us, and I've adopted that as my number. I don't know why this, number. And so I adopted it as my number since we don't believe in that crap. Everything is written. Hey, that's what's up, man. You know what? 13 out here in California, by the way, means something different too. It doesn't deal with anything unlucky or anything like that. And in fact, here, let me tap in on you with that particular subject, right? So 13 comes from the historical aspect of the Knights and the Crusaders in France that were massacred during the Friday the 13th. So that's the only reason why they say that 13 is an unlucky number. So it has nothing to do with satanic worshiping or bad luck or Nightmare on Elm Street type of situation or anything like that. It literally just means a particular date and time in history, and people sort of correlate it to something of a bad luck scenario of some sort. So that's what it is. So what was I saying? I was saying that Cody Garbrandt and Davison Figueroa is a fight that Dana White wanted to put together as the first fight of the prelims so that you could go out there and watch. And then I was talking about how Cody trains out here with some of the best fighters we have in Sacramento, and if not around the world. So have you trained with Hassan Zada at Team Alpha Male? He's my countryman, tough fighter. I've probably seen him around. What weight class does he fight in? Let me know on the comment section below. Yeah, Team Alpha Male. Assassin comes from Soul Assassin. Cypress Hill, also Assassin, comes from the tag word Hashin. Yes, so obviously the word assassin comes from an Arabic word because back in the days, I believe they used to smoke hash before they would go into a covert mission where they were going to go and assassinate somebody. So hence the name Assassin. So yes, that is a very interesting history in that regard. So guys, don't forget to like and subscribe as you guys are checking out this stream, and we are continuing on with this particular topic. Oh, I think we have a premiere right now for my video. He's fought at 155, Nazim Sadirkov on the Contender Series. Guys, everybody that's on this stream right now, don't forget to tap into my live my live premiere that I have going on right now with Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, an exhibition confirmed details, 15 minutes of fame. That is on right now. But you know what? Since I'm getting such a lot of love from around the world right now, people tapping in from Australia, people tapping in from Dubai and whatnot, I'm going to stay on live stream and we're going to continue on. But you can put up two screens at the same time as you guys are watching my premiere of Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, being an exhibition confirmed. So more on UFC 300, right? We'll go on for 10 minutes and then we'll take it from there, right? So sorry, I keep cutting you off, brother. No problem. No, please keep cutting me off. Alhamdulillah, I subscribe. Please continue, brother. I don't mean to keep cutting you off. No, you have every right to cut me off. Remember, a live stream is about interacting with people, right? Because otherwise, you know, if nobody came on the live stream, you know, I would just keep talking and talking, right? That's no problem for me. A lot of people say that if you're going to do a live stream, make sure that you have people on. Well, I do live streams anyway, right? So I'm going to do live streams. I'm going to talk whether people are here or not. But guess what? It is even better when people come and engage and talk, because guess what? I love nothing more than to talk to other MMA enthusiasts and observers from around the world and share some ideas and talk and yeah, and banter and everything in between. So I'm all for it and I'm okay with it, inshallah, brother. Yes. And also don't forget to check out my video that is on premiere right now. Usually I would get off after the premiere comes on, but since you guys are engaging with me, I will stay on for as long as I can. And don't forget to like that stream also. It's on right now on the video section if you guys want to check it out. But we'll continue on with the UFC 300 topic at hand right now, right? My favorite fighter is Cain Velasquez, just putting it out there. He's a great fighter. By the way, you know about what's happened with Cain Velasquez, right? He's got a little situation going on where I believe someone had touched his children while they were in daycare, and then he did what any good father would do. He picked up his gun, started shooting at the guy, put him in a car chase and whatnot, and but Cain Velasquez is out on bail right now, which is great because obviously that guy deserved it. He had what was coming to him. And a lot of people would say, well, why didn't Cain Velasquez just go and blast the guy, right? I'm sorry, or fight him by hands? Well, I don't know, man. Maybe a part of that is because he felt like it was too honorable for him to go out and fight a guy. I mean, imagine you get your butt whooped by a former heavyweight champion of the world, right? And there's no shame in that. However, if he goes out and tries to shoot you with a gun, I mean, you know, there's something even more personal and more sinister than that. Though one touched the child is out of jail, and Cain spent time in jail and not gotten a monitor tracker. What a shame. Yeah. Unfortunately, you know, that is one of the harshest criticisms that I have for the local government here in California, which is sometimes not really stern enough with with people, right? You know, they're not stern enough with punishments that deal with, with people that touch kids and whatnot. So it's a shame in that end, right? So, but free Cain Velasquez, nonetheless. You know, obviously Cain Velasquez has been, you know, a longtime training partner of Khabib Nurmagomedov and a lot of the Dagestani guys. So Cain is all right in my book, and I've enjoyed many of his fights over the years, and he is a fan favorite to a lot of hardcore fans around the world. So once again, don't forget to check out my video, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, that is on right now. So let's see, what else could we talk about with UFC 300, or maybe that should be it. I think that should be it, right? Now, also, let me know, guys, if Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway is really canceled or if they are continuing on with the fight. Because I'm looking at Google, it says that the fight is on here, on where you look at the UFC schedule on Google. It says here that the fight is on, but then on the very bottom of it, it says it's canceled. So it's very deceptive in that particular end. Meebop, I'm going to put you on timeout as a result of your stupid comments, and I will see you tomorrow in your 24-hour span of being blocked for 24 hours. So on any regard, but thank you for the engagement nonetheless. Obviously, that was, that's always helpful. Engagements are always helpful in this channel. And yeah, man. So let's see what else. Bo Nickel. Okay, so let's talk about how do you think Khamzat will do against Robert, especially when I don't think he's good at his gas tank. Who do you not think is good at his gas tank? Khamzat Chimaev. I did a video on that. If you want to check it out from yesterday, let me take a look at and see. Oh, okay, so good. There's 3 people that are watching my premiere right now. So low fighter pay. I did a video yesterday on low fighter pay on the video section, and I wrote low fighter pay is a myth. So, and here's why. And then I did an early preview of Khamzat Chimaev versus Robert Whittaker. So check that out. So far, I think that's all that I have for this particular live stream. I hope you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next coming episodes. And please check out my video that is playing right now, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, and the confirmation that it's an exhibition. Don't forget to like and subscribe once again, and I will see you guys in the next stream. Or you know what? I'll just milk this and just stay on the live stream right now and see how much views I get out of this as we are as I'm going to end this stream. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to end this stream, talk about Bo Nickel and why I think he deserves this particular matchup, right? And the card placing that he has. I understand that there's a lot of former champions in this card, but Bo Nickel is a main draw and a main attraction. And what the UFC is trying to do by showing that he is a main attraction is basically putting him this high up in the card so that this way you can say in professional wrestling terms. So I know a lot of people don't like this, and that's understandable, but at the same time, you got to take into consideration they have something very special for Bo Nickel. Khamzat Chimaev fights, Dricus du Plessis fights, maybe even Israel Adesanya fights. All of these different type of fights that they have prepared for Khamzat Chimaev, right? So they need him to really be on a top of the placement in order for him to garner the type of attention that he deserves. Okay, so I think that video had just ended with the Jake Paul one in the premiere. So I guess I'll stay on a little longer since that video has already premiered, and my plan originally was to stay on for a little bit just so I can wait for that video to upload. But since that video has already been uploaded and the 15 minutes of that whole entire video has been premiered, I'm just going to stay on and continuously talk about UFC 300. But also, let's talk about the other cards that I had did a preview on way before. 2 weeks ago, I did a countdown to UFC 300 where I went through an entire card from the Myson Tybura fight. Do you think the UFC will keep throwing fights in the UAE? Absolutely, especially since they'll headline in Saudi. Yes, the Middle East is a top priority for the UFC right now. Especially Saudi will pay more through sports washing. Okay, yeah. I know you're allowed to say that in your parts of the world, but since you're under the jurisdiction of the Emiratis and not the Saudis, I suppose you're allowed to say that. But shout out to His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, and yeah, absolutely, they're gonna do a lot more shows in Saudi Arabia. The Khamzat Chimaev and Robert Whittaker fight obviously is the headline of that. It's going to be very historic. Robert Whittaker says that he promises a historic performance as a result. So we'll see. We'll see how that unfolds. Also, yes, you're going to do more fights in in Saudi Arabia. But what's interesting about that is obviously you know that in Saudi in the Saudi boxing, right? You look at the Anthony Joshua fight. You look at the fight with what's his name, Francis Ngannou. The production that they were putting on for that particular fight. What's interesting is that the UFC is going to continue doing exactly what the UFC does. In other words, they're not going to change anything in terms of their production. They're not going to do any extravagant entrances or anything like that. They're just going to go and become business as usual, but be hosted under the Saudis with whatever they can provide, whether that would be hotels or training facilities or let's say flights for the coaches and the staff and all that. So they're basically going to provide all of that in the process. So guys, I think I'm going to call it a day for that one. I will see you guys in the next live stream, and please do not forget to check out my one. It will be a big test for comes up. Saudi boxing is crazy. I love the fact that they're bringing the big fights. Tank versus Devin might be the next one to happen there. It's huge. And 13th Assassin, take care. Also, do me a favor, spread this to all of your friends in the UAE, right? Because when I look at my analytics, I see a lot of people that are from Africa, different parts of Russia. Now I got people in Australia watching me. I'd love to take a look at my analytics and see some of my fellow Arab brothers in the UAE and Saudi Arabia come tapping in live with me to talk about some great MMA and great fighting as well. So inshallah, Ramadan Kareem. I hope everyone is safe. Tell the ones that you love them, and I hope you guys have a great fasting up until the day of Eid, which is going to be a great day of celebration, inshallah. And how about this? This is a great way to end it. Eid is going to fall on the same week as UFC 300. So what a great gift for all of us Muslim fight fans, right? We got UFC 300 on Saturday, and then probably in that same week of the Tuesday and Wednesday of that week, it's going to be Eid. What a great week. And how about this? Also, don't forget to check out Ramadan Kareem, brother. Alhamdulillah, I'm so proud you're one of us. May we meet in Al-Farudas. Inshallah, brother. Inshallah. But yeah, just don't forget to spread me around YouTube. Tell your friends around UAE, because yeah, I would love to have more fans and listeners and watchers in the UAE. Oh, but one more thing I wanted to mention. My friend, who's also a fellow Muslim brother, American brother, named Idris Wasi, he is also fighting in the BKFC card in that same week. So look out for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships. He's going to be fighting a guy named Jackson. So that's going to be on the same week as Eid, same week as BKFC, with my friend fighting in that card. And then you got UFC 300 in that weekend. What a great time to be alive, and what a great time to feel blessed from around the world, and from my family to yours. Inshallah, Ramadan Kareem, Eid Mubarak, as we are awaiting Eid Mubarak. But for now, goodbye, and I will see you guys soon, inshallah.